guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag. I haven't been tagged by anyone, but that's okay. I'm still going to give you my unpopular book opinions. This was originally done by The Book Archer back in 2015, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay. There are 9 questions in this tag, and it's about time I have done this tag because I have a lot of unpopular book opinions. So the first one is a popular book or series that you didn't like. And there are so many. So for a lot of these books, I have already unhauled them, so I'm going to attempt to edit a nice picture in this area. So we'll see if I can do it. A popular book or series that you did not like. And there are so many. The first one I'm going to start with is ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I only read the first book, and I only read it because of book club. I will never again read anything by Sarah J. Maas. I did attempt to read the next one, Throne of Glass. I read 92 pages of Throne of Glass, and I had a lot of the same issues that I had with A Court of Thorns and Roses that I did with Throne of Glass. A couple other popular books or series I didn't like is anything by Cassandra Clare. I read City of Bones. I watched the Shadowhunters movie and TV series, and I don't get it. And if you see what all of these have in common, they're all fantasy, and I don't understand what the popularity is. So that is my answer for number 1. A popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate that you love. I'm gonna go with the Vampire Academy series with this one. I read it recently, as in last year or 2 years ago, and I really liked it. The movie was on Netflix. The movie sucks, but I wanted to read the book, and I ended up giving the first book like 3 stars and ended up giving the rest of the books in the series, which I think there's 6 total, 4 and 5 stars. I actually really like that series. It's vampires and it's cliche and it's so 2005, but I don't even care. I loved it, and it doesn't have a lot of love on BookTube or on Goodreads or anywhere except for me. I love it. So yeah. A love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with, or an OTP that you don't like. And before we started to film this video, me and my husband were like, I don't know. And he was like, well, what about Twilight? No, even though Edward is a creep, Jacob was even more a creep, the whole Renesmee thing, he's shaking his head, whatever. And then we talked about Hunger Games, but no, Gale, was also a creep and killed Prim. And so no, she should have ended up with Peeta or by herself. So I actually don't have an answer to this. Everything in Shatter Me ended up like I wanted it to end up, and there's more books coming out, so I can't say that. Vampire Academy ended up how I wanted it to, so I don't have an answer to this one. I don't have an unpopular opinion. My opinions are popular. I'm glad everyone ended up with who they ended up with, so unfortunately, no answer for this one, sorry. A popular book genre that you hardly reach for. I'm gonna go with historical fiction for this one because my obvious answer is fantasy, but no, historical fiction. I have read a couple. I read Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, which I loved, surprisingly, but that is probably the only historical fiction novel I have ever read, and I don't even know how I read it. But it was great. I loved that book, but that's probably the only book I've ever read that's historical fiction YA. So that's all I got. A popular or beloved character that you do not like. Selena from Throne of Glass. Once again, I only got 92 pages in, so it's hard for me to say much about her, but from these 92 pages, she was supposed to be the greatest assassin in this world, and all she could talk about was how pretty she was, and I was like, question mark. So I'm gonna go with that. Sarah J. Maas, not a no. A no from me. A popular author that you can't seem to get into. I'm gonna go with Victoria Aveyard for this one. She is super woke on Twitter, and I follow her on Twitter and I think she's great, but Red Queen series, nothing. And once again, that's fantasy, so I guess it's me and not her. But people, like, I like her as a person. I like her on Twitter. I think she's super cool, but her books are not cool. But she has a great fan base, so good for her. Good. Popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. I like love triangles. I guess I don't really like the hate to love one. I feel like there's these two characters, they're the only two characters in the book, you know they're eventually going to end up together. I feel like that was the main thing in Caraval, which I didn't like. They were the only two characters in the book. They hated each other from the start, and then they ended up together because they were the only two characters in the book. So I guess it's the hate to love is not a thing that I like too much. A popular series that you have no interest in reading. For this one, I'm going to go with the Cruel Prince series. I don't know if it's just a duology or if it's a series. Either way, I'm not going to read The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. We read it for book club. Didn't read it. Skip that one. Not going to read about fairies after the whole ACOTAR thing. So Holly Black, no. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? 13 Reasons Why. Ooh, oh, I've watched 13 Reasons Why 150 billion times. Although I do like the book, even with the whole Jay Asher controversy thing. I think the TV show really went into the other characters. With the book, we just get Clay's perspective and Hannah's perspective with the tapes, and that's it. But with the TV show, we get to see all of the other 12 factors into Hannah's tapes, which I thought was really interesting, and that wasn't something that we got in the book. So that's all my unpopular book opinions. Thanks for watching.